Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. Now it's the end of March, it's almost April. Normally this time of year we're getting our bikes ready to head outdoors for the warm spring weather that's on its way, but not this year. It seems indoor season has been extended for the foreseeable future. Who knows when it's going to end? It might even roll into next year. And had that not been the case, maybe we wouldn't have seen Zwift's latest update. I know for sure most people wouldn't have even given it a second look. Now we're not going to go into the details of that update. There's plenty of people on YouTube who do a way better job than I do at that. What I do want to check out is one of the most exciting parts of that update for most of us, which is the brand new bike. Well, there's two bikes, but I'm going to concentrate on one of them today, and that is the Pinarello Dogma F12 Hirsch. It's been a long time since I've got excited about buying a bike in the drop shop on Zwift. However, this one, the F12, I'm pretty excited about. I'm hoping, like its real world counterpart, that it is the best bike out there. That's open for debate, I know. But if you think about it, Team Ineos, the team that works on marginal gains, the team that wants the best of everything, they use Pinarello and they have the brand new F12. So if it's good enough for them and it's the best bike on the world tour, surely it's going to be the best bike on Zwift as well. Is it going to be a bike that's finally going to challenge the Tron bike as the top bike to have? Yes, it's harder to get the Tron bike. You can't simply just have loads of drops and go and buy it. You have to work for it. But the Pinarello can be bought in the drop shop. Before we get onto that, let's take a look at its real world counterpart. The Pinarello Dogma F12 X-Lite Disc. Comes in matte black or Team Ineos colours. The features, I don't know what any of this means. TICR, Total Internal Cable Route. Just say Total Internal Cable Routing. Forks with fork flaps. Carbon Toriaka T1100 UD asymmetric frame. No idea. Rad system disc brake. But all that means nothing because as I scroll down, I get to the price. £6,200 for the frame set. Special order only. If you want the bars, it's an additional £750. Want to be a proud owner of a brand new F12? Then simply shell out the same amount of money as you would on a family car and you can own a small piece of very light carbon fibre. So in my eyes, there's only really two types of people that'll be riding around on that brand new real life F12. Those that ride for Team Ineos and those dentists who love Team Ineos. But thanks to Zwift and Pinarello, we get a chance to ride a virtual one. Yay! That is providing you have unlocked it at level 29 and you have at least 958,500 drops, I believe. If you fit that criteria, the Pinarello Dogma F12 can be yours. But is it any good? Well, if you think back to last year, I did a comprehensive test on all frames and all wheels, and we found out that the Tron, or the Zwift concept bike, wasn't actually the fastest bike on Zwift. What we found out was that on the figure of 8 course, the fastest bike is the Specialized S-Works Venge with Zip sub 9 disc, deep section front wheel. I think that's what it's called. That was the fastest combination. It was only tenths of seconds faster than the concept bike. However, it was the fastest bike on that course. Is this the bike that's going to beat that? Is this the bike that is going to sit itself head and shoulders above everything else? Have Pinarello paid Zwift enough to make this bike the best bike on Zwift? Looking at the stats and Zwift's weird approach when it comes to ratings, I'm going to say no. I hope I'm wrong. But it only gets a 3-star aero and it only gets a 3-star weight. But we all know that that Zwift rating system isn't the greatest because there's a lot of 3-star across the board. But when you look at them and when you time them against each other, there's a vast difference between them all. So first up, let's take the F12 around a lap of the figure of 8 course on Watopia, taking in rolling roads, flat roads, and a couple of climbs as well. Not the hardest climbs on Zwift, but certainly enough climbing to give it an idea and give us an impression of exactly how good this F12 is. Let's see how it did. Right, so as you can see here, our rider is taking 1 lap of the figure of 8 course. And we have software here at CyclingHub which allows us to keep the parameters exactly the same throughout the whole test. So we can maintain the same weight, the same height, the same cadence and the same power. And you can see those stats along the bottom. So this rider here, we'll call him Phil, is 170 centimeters tall. He weighs 70 kilos. His cadence is 90 RPM, which I don't think makes a difference on this. And his power output is standard at 283 watts across the board. That will not change throughout this whole test. We're also conducting these tests offline so as not to get in anybody's way, and also so that draft doesn't affect the results. The rider here has to push 100% of the wind as they ride through. Now let's just speed this up a little bit. Let's head towards the finish, and we're going to get a time over the line of 45 minutes and 5 seconds. So there you have it. The F12 finished the figure of 8 course in 45 minutes, 5.38 seconds. Now compare that to the testing that we did last year, and it's way off. When you compare it to that S-Works Venge with the same wheels in it, 27 seconds slower. Same with the Tron bike, give or take a tenth. Like I said, those bikes were very, very close, almost identical in speed. So 27 seconds this bike's losing. I thought 27 seconds slower, something's not right here. A bike of that caliber should not be that slow compared to an S-Works Venge or the Zwift concept bike, because ultimately that would mean you're simply just paying for a paint job and a different style of frame. If you're buying a Pinarello F12 on Zwift, you want it to be the best bike. So I rechecked it and it was right. But then I remembered, between this test and last test that we did last year, Zwift had implemented their rolling resistance changes. So I thought, well, maybe the old bikes aren't as quick as they used to be. So then I tested the Tron bike against it. So bearing in mind, the Tron bike, last time I checked it, went 44 minutes and 38 seconds around the figure of 8 course. Don't forget, same height, same power, same cadence, not that that matters, same weight, everything was the same. We stayed offline to ensure that we never picked up any draft, we didn't use any bonuses, and here's how the two compared to each other. 3 seconds. 3 seconds difference. That's huge, especially when you compare it to the Tron bike versus the Venge. There was very little in it, it was tenths of seconds. But that's a massive gap, and you'd expect the best bike that Chris Froome uses would be the best bike on Zwift. But that's not the case. Clearly, the Zwift concept bike is still head and shoulders above the rest of them. But is it about time we had some sort of special, super, updated version of that concept bike? If we did, what would it look like and how would you achieve getting it? Leave your comments down below, and if there's any other tests you'd like me to do, leave them down in the comments below. I'll do another video later in the week or early next week with your suggestions. And we're done for another video. If you've enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button. If you've disliked it for whatever reason, hit that dislike button. But above all, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when we go live with our videos and our live streams. Until the next one, leave those comments down below. Give me your suggestions on the challenges you'd like to see on Zwift.